guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I decided to do a story time. I wanted to upload a story time because I just feel like I have crazy amazing stories that I want to share with you guys, and I know you guys are going to think they're funny as hell, but this video is more of like a spooky one because it is the time there was a ghost in my home. I'm alone in my house, and telling this story is gonna make me feel like, you know, a red balloon is gonna float in my room and I'm just gonna jump out the window because I don't play with ghosts, anything that go bump in the night. Like, I have to sleep with my lights on. Like, I don't care. Oh, you afraid of the dark? Yes, I am, and I will be until whenever I feel like I don't want to be anymore. This story happened to me when I was a little bit younger and I was living with my grandmother. For those of you that do know me, I was raised by my grandmother and we used to live in Connecticut. I really want to say around the age of 13, 14. No, let me see, a little bit more younger. I was a little bit more younger. I mean, maybe like 10, 11. One of those. I was pretty much in between like third and fourth grade, somewhere in between there. It all started when my grandmother started smelling a weird smell coming from the sink. She would always say, why does the sink smell like that? Like, the sink it stinks all the time. Like, it would be like a rotting corpse smell coming out of the sink. And we were so confused. Like, I didn't think too much of it because, like I said, I'm a kid. I'm just like, yeah, grandma, whatever you're talking about, yep. I didn't smell anything, so I'm just like, I don't know what she's referring to, what she's smelling. We just started noticing like strange things happening around the house, just like her bank cards would go missing, ID cards would go missing. She would have to replace almost everything that was in her wallet because everything would just go missing. We would hear noises, footsteps, you know, doors, simple stuff like that. And like I said, I'm a kid, so I really don't pay attention to anything. But my grandmother was alert on it. She was completely alert. There came a point where my grandmother, she didn't want to stay in the house. So we decided to go to my mother's house and stay there. But the issue is that the laundry room is in our home. And to save money, like any traditional family, go to grandma's house, go to auntie's house to wash your laundry. So my grandmother didn't want to go, so it was me and mom. We had to go wash the clothes. So we went over a particular day and we were sleeping in the living room. I didn't want to sleep upstairs. My mom didn't want to sleep upstairs, all off the strength of what my grandmother was telling her. I woke up in the middle of the night and I heard footsteps going downstairs. So in my mind, I'm like, it's the ghost that lives here. So I'm like, go back upstairs. And he walks right back upstairs. So my grandmother, what she used to do was she used to always burn sage around the house. In her mind, to get the evil spirits out of the house, you know, get away from us, you're bothering us, whatever the case is. I'm not going to say that I went through so much, but my grandmother really went through so much because as a kid, you really don't understand what's going on until it happens to you. And it did. And it scared the living shit out of me. When I say the living shit, I mean like to the point where you're trying to find your dog in the woods and somebody comes behind you like scared shitless. Like, you know it's over. You're about to get stabbed in the neck. Oh, my neck about to, like, it's over for you. This particular night, me and my grandmother, we decided to sleep in our own separate bedrooms. And this was basically almost a week before we decided to move. I slept in my bedroom. My grandmother slept in her bedroom. So my grandmother my grandmother is completely Christian. You know, whenever we moved to a new place, she would always open up her Bible to a certain part and lay it in the house. And she always told me, you know, when you do move on your own, always have a Bible in your home just to have good energy and just to, you know, have that feeling of Jesus being around you. This particular night, the Bible was on my nightstand where my grandmother left it. And the following morning, my grandmother came into my room to see if I cleaned my room, to check on me, see if I cleaned my room. And she goes, well, where's the Bible I put on your nightstand? And I'm like, Grandma, you left it right there. I never touched it. So she's looking around my room. She goes to my closet. She lifts up this bag. And mind you, I used to have this mermaid duffel bag, and it used to have all of my kindergarten writings and drawings, everything I did for Mother's Day and stuff. My grandma used to always keep, you know, stuff like that, you know, as a memory. So when she lifted up the bag, she saw the Bible ripped up in pieces, like to the point where you were like, who dumped confetti in the closet? She found all of her old debit cards. When I tell you, we were like, what the hell? We were literally like, what the hell? Like, you know, and my grandmother knew it wasn't me because I'm just like, I'm a little ass kid. Where am I going to go with debit cards? I don't know anything about debit cards, anything like that. So my grandmother, she was just on a point of,
it was him. I know it was him. I can't see him, but I'm going to get his ass.
A couple nights later, I slept in my room again because, like I said, I'm a kid. I didn't think anything of it. So I'm asleep. And when I go to sleep, I love to lay on my left side. No, my right side. My right side, yeah. I love to sleep on my right side. So as I'm sleeping, and I'm asleep, and I hear a deep voice whisper into my ear, hey.
I kid you not, I woke up and I was freaking screaming. I'm like, Grandma, oh my God, what the fuck?
Like, I was so scared, I didn't even know what to do. So my grandmother, she was just at a point where it's like, oh my God, now you're coming after my child, we need to move. You know, I was getting scared. So we decided to leave from that home. Now, when my grandmother had picked up the bag that had, you know, all the debit cards underneath and the ripped up Bible, she smelt that smell that was coming from the sink. So she kind of put two and two together and she realized, you know, there is a ghost in our home. So my grandmother was like, we're not having that, we're out. Deuces, you can have this, we're gone. We left from that home and it was a traumatizing experience because till this day, if you know me, I sleep with a pillow on my head. Like, I do not go to sleep unless there is something covering my head, because now when I'm sleeping, I feel like there's all this open space, all this air. And I'm just so paranoid of someone coming and whispering in my ear again that I sleep with a pillow on my head. Like, you cannot tell me anything. You know, I sleep with the lights on. The only time I feel secure is if someone is sleeping with me, if my son is sleeping with me. If I'm in my bedroom and I'm sleeping with someone, you sleep on the outside, I sleep on the inside, because whoever comes to kill us is going to get you first. Like, my life is important to me. I'll die for my baby, you know, but if it's somebody else, like, oh, I'm sorry, like, get him first, you know, Grim Reaper, do your thing, you know, this ain't Sims, so I can't beg for his life. So, and it was just like a real traumatic experience after it happened to me, because like I said, as a kid, you don't really understand what's really going on until it really happens to you and you're scared shitless. Like, I'm traumatized to this day. Like, I really won't sleep without a pillow over my head. And if I wake up in the middle of the night, best believe the pillow is going back on my head. Like, I don't play any games. I don't play any games when it comes to ghosts, none of that stuff. I love to watch it, nice, support, but I don't like ghosts. I really don't. So that's just one traumatic ghost experience that I ever had in my whole life. I've never had one since, but we did find out when we did move from that area that the apartment building was actually built on an Army reserve, and there was a guy that died in, you know, that home. And I was just like, you know, typical apartment buildings don't tell you who got shot, who got, you know, stabbed up, you know, who got gutted up. You know, I think it's very important to let people know, because a lot of people invest their money into homes, into places that they think that's good for their kids to be raised in, and then there's secrets and all kind of stuff that's inside of a town. So it's always good to do your research, because that's what I plan on doing. When this happened to me, I told myself, when I get older, I'm doing what Lady did in Amityville Horror. I'm going to the library, I'm looking up newspaper articles, all of that, you know, kill 'em, catch 'em, all of that. I don't want to deal with any of that. Who died here? You know, let's get watchdogs or whoever needs to, you know, ghosts. What are those people called? Ghostbusters. Get the people over here to get him out, because it's just like, I don't want to deal with that. Never again. I really hope you guys enjoy this story time. I plan on doing a lot more story times for you guys, because I just love my stories. They're so funny. They're so out of this world. And at the end of them, it really, I have a meaning. I have a, you know, why this happened to me, you know, explaining my story and why it happened. So, you know, if you want to see more story times like this, feel free to comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video, and I will see you guys on the next video. Bye.